So this is a baby Pageant limousine. I'm going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van you've got the hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. Front locker, you've got your gas bottle, gas regulator and gas pipe work going up to the front of the van. And there's a reverse thread fitment that goes into the bottle. Got your wind down leg on either side of the van at the front to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. You'd never lift the caravan with these legs, they are only there for stabilising the van. You've then got your water heat cover, which you need to remove, or gas flue cover, sorry, that you need to remove prior to anything being ignited on gas. Got your water pump connection that drops down inside the aqua roll itself, and then the pump connects into the side of the van, and we'll show you how to fill the system once we get inside of the van. You then got your fridge vents. The fridge vents are there to allow hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to cool the back of the fridge unit essentially, and then you've got your gas flue for the fridge system on the top right hand side. Motor mover and wheel nuts. The motor mover will be demonstrated to you while you're here on site also, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the recommended manufacturer's setting. Grey waste pipes coming out the side of the van, so the fresh water goes in the front of the van, has to come out somewhere, and it comes out of these grey pipes at the side. You've got two large diameter holes where the grey bits of pipe will go into, and they'll drop down inside the waste master itself. At the back of the van you've got the toilet flush tank. The tank here takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. And at the bottom you've got your toilet waste cassette, which you pull the cassette out with the orange handle and pull it towards you. The neck here turns out to allow you to tip the waste away. And on the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button, so the waste doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Prior to use you'll need to put 1 litre of water into that cassette and a cap full of the fluid. On the back of the van on either side you've got your stabilising legs again to stabilise the caravan rather than lift the caravan. As I said at the front of the van, if you lifted the caravan with these wind down legs you could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. Then you've got your storage locker for underneath the bed at the rear of the van, and that is there so you can access the storage. You can also access it from the inside of the van as well. Coming down towards the front of the van you have your battery locker. So you've got your 110 amp leisure battery in there and your mains power lead coming into the side of the van, which is connected to the power on the site. You've got your motor, your wind down legs on either side of the van, on the front of the van on this side, and your barbecue gas point. Going inside the van, we've got the main control panel for the caravan. So you've got the master power switch, which will turn on just here. You've got your internal lights, your awning light, and your water pump run. To fill the water system, you're going to need to come underneath the front seating area, just down here. And there is a yellow valve just down below the seat. That yellow valve needs to be parallel with the floor before you start trying to fill the water system, and upright to drain all the water system down. So like I said, parallel with the floor to fill the water system, and upright towards the bottom of the seat to drain the water system down. Once you've got that valve shut underneath the seat, you need to go around and make sure all the taps are open on the hot side of the water heating, because when you first turn on the water pump, the water system's going to be empty. So there's a tap in the kitchen, tap in the bathroom, and the tap on the shower also. At that point, we'll come over to the control panel by the door. Now I have already pre-filled the system, so it will come out the taps very quickly. So as you've heard see, the water system's already filled. However, you'd normally let that system, or leave all the taps open until you've got water running out of every tap. It could take 3 to 4 minutes for this to happen, maybe slightly longer in some cases, depending on how much air is in the system. But like I said, as you can see, the water's now coming out of every tap, so I'm going to shut all the taps off. That's all of the taps shut off. Next up, we can warm the water on board the caravan. Now you've got two options for warming the water. You've got electric or gas. So below the seat on the far side of the caravan, you've got the electric water heat switch, so you can turn the switch on just down here, and that will allow the water system to warm up on electric. That's as simple as that when you connect it to 240 mains. If you want to warm it on gas, because you've got gas as a power source, for instance if you're off grid or you're trying to boost the water system when you're showering, you can use the gas option up on the wall here. The outer dial spins round, so it's essentially the on-off switch. You turn the symbol round, or you turn the little tab here round to the flame symbol, and it will self-ignite on gas. Like I said, you would need to have the gas cover on the outside, or the flue cover removed on the outside of the van prior to igniting the system. If a red light appears and it's actually failed to ignite on gas, and it could just mean the gas is turned off like it is at the moment, or potentially it just needs to be bled. So you'd go to the hob, get the gas through to the hob before you try and ignite this, because the hob is the last point on the gas system. Once it's ignited, you can control the water temperature between 30 and 70 degrees on the dial on the front of the water heater itself, or on the wall here itself. To turn the water heater back off, you can spin it back round to the off position, and that will stop the gas supply coming through to the water heating system. On the opposite side of the van, you have your electric heating for the caravan. So to operate this, you'll need to first make sure the room heater switch is turned on, and above that then you've got another similar dial to the one on the other side. This one's actually for electric operation rather than the gas operation on the other side of the van. So what you'll need to do is select 500 or 500, 1000 or 2000 watts from the dial down the side here. So for instance 500 watts. The room heater will kick in, and that will depend on what caravan site you're on to what power supply you set the heater to. Once you've got it turned on and the green light's on, you can control the heat temperature on the dial on the front here between 1 and 9. It essentially means 1 to 9 bars of heating, so essentially there's 9 bars in the heater that will warm up. If you don't want to use it on electric at all, you can turn it off to save some power. If you want to use the heating system on gas, you can also do that. So on top of the heater itself, you'll actually find a dial that looks a bit like a barbecue dial, for instance. And what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to spin this dial round between 10 and 9, hold down the gas valve. Then when it ignites on gas in this little window down the front of the heater, you'll actually have a pilot light in there. When that pilot light is burning, you'll hold down the gas valve for 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the gas valve and control the temperature of the heater on the dial on top. To turn it back off, you spin it to the off position on the left hand side where the 0 is. On this particular caravan, you can use blown air heating as also, but you can also have the heat coming out the front of the heater. So you'll see this little dot here that indicates the heat's going to come out the front of the heater. The wave symbol is blown air heating, and you've got your fan speed on top here, and you can also use that as a cool air fan during the winter, during the summer. It won't be ice cold, but it will just blow a bit of cool air around the van. Like I said, the dot in the centre, we'll put it out the front. You've got continuous blown air on the left, and then you've got the A this side, which is automatic blown air, which essentially will cut in and out with the thermostat on board the van. Next up, you've got your controls on the front of the fridge for the fridge itself. So you've got the off position at the top here. You've got 240 mains, which as long as you connect to 240, you'll be able to power the fridge. Temperature control for gas or electric is on the right hand side. You've then got your 12 volt mode, so when you're connected to the car and you're towing down the road and you want to use the fridge as a cool box, you can select 12 volt just here. At that point, the temperature control will be completely irrelevant. You can spin it down to gas, so as long as the gas is turned on and it's bled on the hob, as we said previously, you can press in the temperature dial and hit the igniter at the same time. Once it's ignited, the little red line that you see in this window here on the front of the fridge will come round into the green. Once it's in the green and it's stayed there, you'll hold down again the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the gas valve. Again, then you can control the temperature of the fridge on gas on this dial on the front. To turn the fridge back off, you'll spin the dial round to the off position, and that'll be the gas supply turned off. Coming to the bathroom on the caravan, and this is the last piece of the caravan we're going to go through, you've got the toilet system itself. So on top of the toilet, you've got an electric flush, as you can see here. You've got a toilet full indicator light, which will illuminate red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. That would mean you need to empty the cassette from underneath the van, and you have to put once you've emptied it, put the 1 litre of water back in and a cap full of the blue fluid. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you are removing the toilet cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure the toilet cassette is pointing straight across towards the shower unit. So straight ahead, essentially, instead of being turned to the left or right. To open the toilet waste flap up, you have a handle just down below the toilet, a little grey handle here, you push across, and that will essentially allow the toilet waste straight into the cassette underneath the van. If that cassette's open before you start using the loo, like I said, it will go straight into the cassette. If that toilet flap is actually closed off, it will actually stop the toilet waste from going in the cassette underneath the van. But we do advise you open it first. Once you're done, shut off the grey flap again so no toilet smells come up inside the caravan. And once you've done that, obviously, don't use any bleach cleaning products on the caravan due to the fact it will stain the toilet itself. If you have any further questions on the Bailey Pageant Limousine, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'd be more than happy to help. We thank you for your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site again soon. Bye bye.